Oh no, it's Kat Tut. Circus Daredevil. Meow, what's happening? Who said yarn? Oh right, I'm asleep. Oh, I must be dreaming, you're right. As a cat, I sleep 98% of the day, so I've got plenty of time for dreaming. Sometimes I dream of being in a circus. I'm a daredevil. I'm blind. Or is it trapeze artist? As long as there's a giant ball of yarn, I'm happy.
If he was a blind trapeze artist, he wouldn't get very far. Or a blind daredevil.
Except for, Daredevil.
Well, Daredevil isn't really Daredevil. Isn't a Daredevil, he's
also not really blind.
Well, no, he is, but he just can hear.
He's blind, but he can see perfectly.
No, he can echolocate.
Anyway.
Because that's why the world looks like it's on fire.
Yes, continue.
So Gilberti. Yeah, so he won, he did all this amazing work and did these beautiful doors.
This has probably been over episodes, but fuck it.
Yeah, it has. But even if you're not a big fan of sculpture or, Renaissance art or any of that, it is stunning to behold anyway. Just the entire Florence Cathedral is so worth climbing to the top of the Duomo. Yes, the man who almost won, so he had to engineer how these doors were going to be able to be open because they had to open easily enough, but they're going to be big and heavy, and he engineered a way to do that. And the gentleman who came in second was called... It wasn't Botticelli, it was Brunelleschi?
Wasn't Botticelli one of the Ninja Turtles?
No.
Sure.
But he's the one who did Venus. The really amazing Venus.
Oh, the Venus and the Clam.
Yes.
What's the matter, Homer? Ain't you ever seen a naked chick riding a clam before?
You're so weird.
Simpsons.
I know.
You still Googling stuff?
I'm Googling what his name is because I'm horrendously dyslexic even though I did all this and I love it.
Well, I'm kicking many asses here, so... Oh, fuck!
Sure.
I mean, I'm still on 8 shots, and I've only got 7. Look, I'm on 8 shots. I'm doing fairly good.
7 orange pegs.
I haven't.
Okay, well, you said 7.
I know, but I lied.
Okay.
To keep you on your toes and make sure you're watching, and you weren't, fucker.
I wasn't, I was Googling. Brunelleschi.
That's not a real artist, you made that up.
Well, it depends what you mean by real artist.
Never heard of him.
He was very good, but he was another one who was...
If he's not a Ninja Turtle, he wasn't a Renaissance artist. Them's the rules. You're only allowed Michelangelo, Leonardo, Raphael, and the other one. Who's the other Ninja Turtle?
Donatello,
Raphael, Leonardo, Michelangelo. There you go. I don't think I said Donatello the first time, but...
Possibly
anyway.
Not. So, Brunelleschi. He came in second.
Oh, don't forget Master Splinter as well.
Oh,
he was a famous Renaissance artist.
He was. So, Brunelleschi came in second for the doors, and so they built this beautiful dome, but the beautiful cathedral, but they didn't know how to top the tower, and they had no idea how they were going to do it. And it was so large that they couldn't find a way to do it that wasn't going to cost an absolute fortune. Basically, build outside this massive cathedral in scaffolding to then build this tower point on the top. And tower points were becoming very much out of vogue by this point because obviously they were moving away from the Gothic era and they wanted to get away from that. Well, you and I had a discussion recently about whether or not Italy ever really joined the Gothic era, and they really did, but they just got out of it very fast.
Right, you're saying that as if you're arguing against me. I read a book which said Italy was never touched by the Gothic era.
And I was like, but that's wrong, and you were like, well, you just don't know. And I'm like,
I mean, in fairness, she did have a degree in medieval architecture. I figured she would know. Apparently she's wrong.
I think so too. I think she was just, shortening it, because it's not a great deal.
I mean, yeah, that was like a 40-page book, so that was fucking... Holy shit.
That was very cool.
I got 9 shots left. I'm going to do some cleanup.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm not saying she was wrong, but she certainly was saying something that was untrue, and I feel that was assuming less intelligence.
I think it's the kind of thing where, you're simplifying to make it easier to an outside reader, but you're simplifying it to the point where you're actually...
misleading.
Yeah, which is not okay. Anyway.
So, yes. It was, they wanted, a top to the cathedral, and they didn't know what they were going to do with it. And they again held a competition to see who was going to build it, and the man who got it was Brunelleschi, and he apparently walked into the discussion...
Oh, wait, Brunelleschi was the guy who came second in the doors, in the baptistry competition.
So he came second in the doors, and he walked into
won second place in a beauty contest.
And he...
that was a Monopoly joke.
That was hilarious. And he, walked into the discussion panel where they were discussing things. He didn't have an appointment. He walked in, and the rumour goes that he walked in and he placed an egg upside down on the table in front of them, and he smashed the egg to the point where the bottom half, as in the half that was still in his hand, stood tall like a little dome. And he pointed and he said, "I'm going to build you a dome." And he wouldn't tell them what he was going to do or how he was going to achieve it. All he said was, "I will build you a dome." And it must have been at least based on his previous contribution with the doors that they said, "Yep, fair, build it."
Wait, I thought he came second in the door competition.
He came second in the door, but he must have impressed them with what he was going to do.
Oh, so he's like a runner-up.
Oh, he absolutely was. It really was a toss-up. And they went with Ghiberti, and I mean, I'm not going to say they were wrong.
Have you been there?
Yes, I went recently with
Seen the
my
doors?
sister. Yes, it was so much fun.
Florence must be a fucking art history student's fucking wet dream when you finally go there and you're like, it's all the shit you've been reading about for however the fuck long.
It was a little bit, I must say. I was astounded.
I thought you actually could say I was actually a bit damn.
Oh my god.
Because I was like, it must have been like a wet dream. And you're like, it was actually. It was
it
really
was actually
wet.
raining.
Jesus Christ.
It was.
That's not what a wet dream is.
I know, but I went with my sister, my niece and nephew, and it was spectacular. I never thought it was going to be as good as it was. And I've done a fair amount of European traveling, and I've just never quite experienced anything like Florence. Cannot recommend enough. But the point of the story is, the way that he built the dome is actually fantastic. So instead of building this massive sculpture, structure from the outside to support the workers as they built the dome, he built...
Well, it's like a scaffolding thing.
Yeah, instead of building scaffolding, he basically built the dome as its own scaffolding.
So it leans into itself, kind of, as it's been built.
There's two, walls.
Yeah.
And he had
I think I've seen this dome in Assassin's Creed 2.
Probably. I think that sounds familiar.
That's all set in Florence, amongst other places.
Oh, then definitely.
And it's one of the things, whatever you say about the Assassin's Creed series, they usually can't be faulted for getting architecture of the time right.
Cool. I'm not a big fan. It looks too much like Prince of Persia, but not enough, if that makes sense.
Fair.
It's uncanny for me because they use the same modelling software. Anyway, yeah, you were robbed. Yeah, he built these two towers together of brickwork, and basically the brickwork was interlacing, so it was like diagonals building into one another. And he'd been to see the Parthenon in Rome and figured out...
He hadn't been to see the Parthenon in Rome because the
Not the
Parthenon's in
Parthenon.
Athens.
No, the...
St. Peter's Basilica?
Nope.
Yes, I'm
I mean,
sure.
yes, it is in there, but that's not what I'm discussing.
That's the famous big dome in Rome, unless you mean...
No.
No, but St. Peter's is the one in the Vatican.
I mean, St. Peter's is, but it's a,
Different.
church. It's not...
It's got a massive dome.
I mean, it probably does.
It has. It's called St. Peter's Basilica is the name of the dome, and it's like the biggest freestanding dome in the world.
Okay, but that must have been built after.
Okay.
Then, because he built from either Greek or Roman...
What
is it? It's not the Parthenon, it's the...
Forum? No, that's all ruined.
No, the... I'm going to Google it.
Fair. So the Parthenon's the one in Athens that we stole a load of.
It's the dome with the hole in it.
The dome with the hole in it.
Yeah. And it's really ancient, and you can still go and see it now. It is the Pantheon.
Pantheon. Yes. So I can see why you get like yeah. The Parthenon's the classic Greek temple thing in Athens.
I thought that, and then it was all like, let's go see the Pantheon, and I was like,
Pantheon.
okay, cool.
Yeah, Pantheon means all-seeing.
Which would explain because it was all gods.
No, it doesn't. It means all gods.
Yeah, it was all gods.
Yeah.
But yeah,
as
again,
in theology.
Yes. But it's big, massive hole in the middle of the dome. It's amazing. Again, I got to see it on the Florence trip.
Let's light in, or
let's light in, let's the moon in, let's the sun in.
The whole moon fits in there. That's pretty big.
Yeah, the entire moon. Sarky cunt.
You knew this though.
No, lots of ancient religions had moonlight or sunlight coming into the main altar for whatever.
That's because they didn't have a great
doing.
deal of artificial lights. It's partly it.
Yeah, but the moonlight stuff is just for being a poncy.
That's one of those things where people are just like, oh, I wonder why the sun and moon are so important to ancient cultures. Like, I mean,
so
partly seeing was pretty important. They liked that. I heard. Like, obviously, there are reasons for it, like culturally and religiously and stuff like that. But also, it was usually the most reliable way to see at night was by moonlight.
Yes. Okay, but Isis was all about moonlight and her rites were only done at night, etc. Anyway, so yes, the Pantheon.
Yes.
So he'd been to see the Pantheon and he'd figured out how they'd built, or how he would build, a dome without a top, without a center. So it's the power, like the pressing down, so you use diagonal bricks that were cut in a certain way so that when they slatted into one another, they wouldn't go anywhere, and their pressure would push down the dome and just reinforce the dome. And he built that, but he built the two of them together so you didn't have to build the scaffolding all the way up.
Cool.
And as you're walking up the stairs, because you walk up the stairs in between the two walls, you can literally see you were robbed. Also an idiot. You can actually see how all the bricks are laid into one another to do it. It's amazing.
That's quite cool.
It's engineering just fantastic.
So yeah, the one that always gets me is bridges. It's like stone arch bridges with like a big arch in the middle. Is always just like how they built, like, because I can absolutely see how the structure holds together when it's fucking completed. Mm-hmm. But like a lot of them weren't done by having like really complicated scaffolding. They were just like clever leaning and placing of like a lot of those kind of bridges will just have like a keystone, which if you were to remove it, the whole fucking thing would just fall apart. It's crazy. Not all of them, but some of them. And
also it's a thing of once you've got them all in place, you can then cement them in, so then you could remove the main stone.
Yes.
Yes, I see what you mean exactly. And yeah, so this was all based on the artists and what makes an artist and whether or not Gaudi?
Yes.
Yes, Gaudi. Whether or not Gaudi is an artist or an architect or structural engineer, and actually most of them were both.
Fun thing about... God, was it... I think it was you now. I think I've gone wrong again. It was Dali. One of them definitely had two pet anteaters.
Dali.
Yeah, I used to walk him around Paris.
Yeah, definitely Dali.
He was a bit more surrealist, yeah.
Definitely more surreal. You don't get any more surrealist than Dali.
But Gaudi did a lot of, perhaps not enough surreal, but a lot of bizarre stuff.
Do you know how Gaudi died?
No. Did they exhume him recently to like... No, that was fucking Dali. Jesus Christ. Dali was recently exhumed to genetic testing. Because someone reckons she was his bastard daughter.
But
yeah, illegitimate daughter, bastard daughter.
No, I was thinking, was it granddaughter? But I think you're right, it is daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gaudi.
Apparently his mustache was still intact.
I'm not surprised. Hair is freaky like that.
Yeah, apparently it was, quote, still intact at the 10-2 position.
But yeah, Gaudi was stepping back to look at his building, got run over by a chariot.
Oh, chariot?
Chariot.
When the fuck would Gaudi didn't die that long ago?
Got hit by a chariot, apparently.
Wait, it's Gaudi or Dali?
Gaudi,
fuck.
not Dali. Gaudi.
Even Gaudi was... Oh, okay. Do you mean like a carriage?
Yeah, carriage.
Not a chariot. Chariot's like fucking Roman shit that you wheel behind and shoot arrows from. Like the two wheels like Ben-Hur.
Totally what I mean. Also, I want one of those.
You mean a carriage?
No, I don't mean a carriage. I don't want a carriage. They're apparently very uncomfortable.
Fair.